drove right past it.
Oh, yeah.
All the money.
You didn't get on the outer loop.
We followed, like, was following signs to Washington instead of signs to Baltimore.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah, so you did.
Oh,
go the outer loop.
$6.95.
Are you on this committee?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Me, you're not. You?
not Fred.
So we have three. Okay, we're good.
Fred
Who's that?
got cold or something, and said he's gonna be late.
I think Spanko's on this committee.
Check for shorts.
Not waiting.
Oh, yeah, I haven't saw him.
Okay.
This might be it though. This might be it.
Tomorrow's.
Yeah, well, I'm doing shoot tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to wear long pants. I had long pants on when it was turkey hunting on Saturday too. It's Tuesday.
It's 37 degrees out this morning.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a little chilly.
yeah,
Chilly
it was
this
cooler
morning.
this morning.
The clock's not right. Do you wanna,
I don't know how to line that, to be honest with you. I don't
I
touch it.
just push the,
I think it's lost cause if you ask me.
No,
But if you want to do it.
Jakes knows how to do it.
That's
Maybe they'll,
tomorrow.
you probably have to do it every day.
Tom Mullen gave me this responsibility when he was president.
See, I'm also potentially not tall enough.
Well, yeah, height has something to do with
yeah,
There's a way to wind it.
it. Yes.
yeah, it's probably, yeah.
Ah, so it's like my grandfather clock at home when I was kids.
It's not hard.
I have 3 grandmother clocks and 2 grandfather clocks.
Those
So
are
yeah.
holiday.
Don't you start the pendulum?
Excellent.
Oh.
It's 11 o'clock, let's call the personnel committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yeah, correct.
Fred Mogul will be late, Steve Brennan,
Here?
Jenna Barnett,
Here.
Dave Reeser,
Here.
and Ron Stanko will be absent.
He's not coming, we know that.
He doesn't have a lot.
He doesn't flag.
Any public comments, Mr. Jett?
No,
Pass.
thank you.
Assistant Public Works Director.
You are all aware that at last week's council meeting, you approved the job description for the Assistant Public Works Director. Phyllis has included salary and benefits for that position in the 2023 draft budget. Anticipating you approve the job description, therefore you'd likely be in favor of actually hiring someone for the position. I'm asking for permission to advertise, interview, and hire with the start date January 3rd, 2023 or after.
Okay, so we need a recommendation to approve advertising for the Assistant Public Works Director job.
Is this a new position?
Yes.
Yes.
Because
We're looking
changing
to,
rec board,
This person will also oversee the Parks
Responsibilities.
Department.
You're changing responsibility.
because the rec board is going,
just being rec
gonna
board.
be,
The rec board
just
used to,
rec board.
used to have 2 heads, and now it's just rec.
it used to be Parks and Rec.
Ah.
Now Pete's
That's just
just
rec.
rec, he's part-time,
Okay.
no benefits. We're gonna hire somebody, and Jim could be retiring anytime, well, could be retiring in
Okay.
5 years, so we'd like to get someone who knows the infrastructure.
It's also
Thank you.
anticipation of his replacement.
Yeah.
I would say, Michelle, I would say.
Oh, sorry, Chris, is over that you?
What your request was though, you can advertise, you can interview, but I would say, don't add the part where you're gonna hire until it gets reviewed yet.
I
So
would
I would say interview
think
and
this
advertise
committee
and
might
interview.
want to be part of that interview process too.
Correct.
Well, but the other thing is, to on or after, just on next fiscal year, so.
Okay, so we need a motion to advertise the Assistant Public Works Director job opening.
So moved.
Well, and, but before that,
Do you want me to say?
interview,
I didn't make a recommendation.
Michelle,
well, your original recommendation I
Okay.
thought was great.
We need a motion to advertise the Assistant Public Works Director job opening with the employment start on or after January 3rd of 2023.
So
I'm
moved.
sorry.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Moving on to, I guess you have to move it on to council, right?
Correct.
Employee Appreciation Initiatives.
I believe you're all aware, I threw a staff lunch last Friday, I think it was in September. I also, threw a staff happy hour back in May. So, the email I sent out notifying council about the staff lunch, I paid for that myself. Same thing with the happy hour, other than there was some third-party agency contributions by Chris's office and Craft Foods towards those. I have no problem doing that. I think in some cases it means more when it's coming directly out of my wallet than the borough's coffers. hours, but the comment was thrown out. And I was asked, what do we do for employee appreciation? We don't really do anything outside of that. We used to have a staff picnic, I think it was June, and that was, council was invited to it, staff was invited to it, any committee, commission, board member was invited to it. Stopped doing it because there was lower and lower turnout every year, and I think the lower member staff people felt somewhat uncomfortable around the higher end elected officials. So, in talking,
And elected officials.
yes,
That's you.
that would be you.
That's you.
Melissa, Kim, and I spitballed some ideas. I talked to the foreman of the 3 parks and maintenance departments. I've talked to individual employees. Obviously, the thing I think anybody would appreciate the most is time off without having to use their time off bank. I had Phyllis give me a number and obviously this couldn't apply to PD and fire department just because of what we do. But for all parks and maintenance and admin staff, to let everybody say leave an hour early on a Friday, it costs $700. If you look at hourly wage, what we'd be paying them. The lunch that I threw cost about $200 between 7 pizzas from Russo's, chips, pretzels, drinks, that I got like at Walmart. The happy hour, I wouldn't want the borough to pay for anything alcoholic, I don't feel that that's appropriate. There was a food component of that. So that kind of goes back to doing something like a lunch. The other comment I had made, uniform quality. The Public Works Parks Department specific made a comment that the t-shirt quality is very scratchy and itchy. So I've already talked to Jim the next time we order them uniforms about can we get them some type of higher quality shirt and more of them. They only get 5 at a shot, and if you're familiar with what they do, they get splashed with some pretty disgusting liquids on a somewhat regular basis that don't easily come out in the wash. So, the uniform quality, Jim and I are gonna take care of that just the next time he orders uniforms. But I'm open to suggestions, ideas. I'm not saying let's go crazy overboard with this, but maybe, once a quarter, twice a year, surprise everybody, hey, you get to cut out an hour too early on a
Do
Friday.
we have, just some of my clients honor, they give out appreciation awards for 5-year anniversaries.
No, so that's actually,
Obviously a 5-year and then give them, you pick from, I don't know, give them a Land's End or a Cabela's or something to pick from. And
Melissa, Kim, and I spitballed that, and honestly, places we've all worked, that stuff, for the most part, ends up
you know
on
what? Okay,
it. Yeah.
I tend to agree. I got a camping tent for 20 years. I haven't camped yet in my life.
I got about 3 clocks from Carpenter.
Yeah.
All right.
So we don't have to necessarily make a decision on the what, it's just, we're going into budget season, so even if we're budgeting $1,000 or $2,000 for this, I'd like to tell Phyllis to put that in the budget for next year.
And if you're talking about $1,000 or $2,000, are you also including in that the cost of giving someone a day off?
So a full day, no, that was never necessarily discussed.
Okay.
It was just, again, when spitballing, like surprise everybody on a Friday, and tell them at lunchtime, hey, you can cut out an hour early.
Well, that doesn't cost you anything.
That costs $700 actually for your hourly employees.
No, if you give it a day off.
Doesn't-
it's not the fire
it doesn't
department
cost you.
taking up overtime, I'm sorry.
It doesn't really cost you anything. If you let somebody go home early, it's
not
a question of whether they're sitting in a tractor and mowing grass or whether they weren't sitting in it. It's not like you're getting any compensation for your productivity for that hour.
What time is the parks,
So it doesn't cost.
what time is the parks, and what time does Jim's guys and
Typically,
gals, sorry,
it's all
what time do
good.
they start?
7, typically they work 7 to 3:30 over the summer. When it gets really hot, they do 6 to 2:30.
That's what I was gonna ask, okay.
They quit around when they get.
Forget about pre-break.
They get
Pre-break.
pre-break and then they gotta plan the break.
Your appreciation, I understand why you do it, and I think it's wonderful, be commended, although I do think it could be taken out in cash to do that.
Not for the drinks.
No, not for alcohol, no. But the
So-
lunch, now,
So let's make,
but my question is, that the purpose of this is to what? Promote camaraderie within the departments?
It's a couple of things. Promote camaraderie within the departments. I mean, the staff lunch we did a couple weeks ago, I intentionally did that on a date that Paula was available. I wanted to introduce her to as many employees as possible. I mean, she's effectively the face of the borough for anybody coming in here. So it's crossover. I mean, I've heard from people that have been here for years, like, I don't know any of the police officers, I don't know any of the firefighters, I don't know Joe Schmo in the public works department. So a little bit of it is just to give them the opportunity that they're actually all together at the same place at the same time as much as possible. Some of it too is, you know, I as their manager want to make sure, like, you're not just a face to me, like, you're a name, you matter, I like that you show up for work every day and
Right.
take pride in what you do. You know, some of that is just things I wish would have been given to me as an employee over the years that I now have the opportunity to give back.
Just my opinion, in doing that, you're not achieving that goal if you're letting employees leave 2 hours early.
No, agreed,
It's-
but
I think she's talking about two different things.
Yeah.
You can get time off and/or we can do these lunches or happy hours or whatever, not happy hour for the borough, but.
no, like the next thing I'd like to do in the spring is a parking lot picnic where we break out the grills and everybody brings a dish and we provide the hot dogs and
I
hamburgers.
think you did this at
You
the
can
pool,
bring
something
it
at
in.
the pool you could do.
Yeah.
Something down there, cause then you have the grill there.
We have a grill here over at the PD.
Alright, so I'm gonna make a recommendation that we recommend the finance to include, $2,000 in 2023 budget for staff appreciation events to be left to be how it's distributed to the borough manager. Okay, we have a motion and a second to what I just said. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. You know, a nice thing is if they get out early, the day before, well, 4th of July is never a good one around here, but like Labor Day, the night before
Well, we
Labor Day.
typically do, I mean,
Your call.
for years past, just for full transparency, because Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's are coming up, it was always a conversation between the manager and council president, but we've always closed early the day before Thanksgiving, the day before Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve.
Continue to have those discussions with the borough council president,
Okay.
or first vice president if you will.
Do you,
The higher ups.
do you have longevity bonuses or?
Yes,
Hey,
That's-
now let's get out, let's stop.
that's in our employee,
Those are all negotiated.
yeah, no, well, I mean, yes,
Not for you guys.
well, it's in the employee handbook,
So they've been around a long time.
oh, yeah.
Okay, so you gotta, we're recommending to finance that 2,000 for those events. Add Tompkins to your list of people who, I would assume the bank would love to sponsor happy hour.
Okay.
If they don't, let me know. Alright,
Chris, I won't be hitting you up next year, then you get a break.
It's okay. We're
Uh,
very well in
so our executive sessions, do we think we're gonna have anything to act upon when we come out of executive session?
One issue, yes.
Okay. And how long do we think we'll be?
Oh, I'm gonna say half an hour.
Okay, so we're gonna head off to executive session with the goal to be back by, let's say, 11:45 with something to act upon, and we will be discussing personnel matters. I assume.
One objection at this point before we go.
I
to
didn't finish what I was saying
I'm
yet.
sorry.
Wait till you object till I'm done. So we're gonna discuss personnel matters and contractual matters,
Strictly personnel,
okay? So we won't be discussing contractual, just personnel matters.
yes.
It's personnel. Now can I make my objection?
Sure, now you can.
Okay, so I have to say that I appreciate that finally we have some meat to this, to the committee meeting and to the agenda. We've moved from just public comments and the next thing is executive session. But I think we can do better. I think I just had a discussion with Christine Sadler, the county solicitor, sorry, in county. And their policy is that only when it has to do with numbers, like social security, salary, and very strict, very strict, that portion is what is included in executive
That's what we're
session.
doing.
Well,
Some of that at least, most of that.
I think we can do better. But
Okay.
anyway, I
Thank you.
appreciate,
Good
I
for
will
you.
be back. Thank you.
All right.
It's not set up for voice.
You on?
Yes.
I would apologize, there's nothing we're gonna have to do any action on. Is there any old business to be attended to? Hearing none, is there any new business to be acted upon? Hearing none, I'll take a motion, I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye, motion, we're adjourned. Do I have to do that at the end of adjourn, or just call me adjourned?